The Jazz lost to the Lakers.
Rudy Gobert sucks. He's the worst player in the league.
Ever.
They have a bad relationship. The organization's burning down, and, everything's fine.
Okay, we'll see you tomorrow. That's the whole show, man. Let's talk about the Lakers and the Jazz last night. And, we can sit here and we can go around and around about how, they blew a big lead, but, and that they snapped a winning streak. It is a broken record. I mean, it is the clock that's right twice a day, right? I mean, the frustrating part about this loss last night is this is how you lost 2 years ago to Denver. This is how you lost last year to the Clippers. And now you're still losing this way. When teams go small ball, you have no answer. And the frustrating part about last night was everything that we've been telling you about the consternation in the locker room and the frustration in the locker room with a lack of accountability on Rudy Gobert came absolutely true last night. I don't know, on 3-4 different occasions, I don't know what Rudy Gobert was looking at. He did not rotate to help defensively, and he's not helping defensively, and in one situation, he's pointing the finger at Royce O'Neal because LeBron dunked. And it's just like, I don't understand where this team has gone, because it's no longer about a lack of athleticism. That is what it is. With it, this roster's been unathletic for 3 years now. It's no longer about Mike Conley being old. Mike Conley's been old for 2 years now. His game has not changed remarkably at all. He's that same dude. What this is, in my opinion, and I know you have thoughts on this, but what this is a team that's simply not equipped to play at the highest level in 2022, 2021, or 2020 versions of the NBA. Mm-hmm. That's what this is, Jake, and I don't think this loss last night changed at all.
Yeah, I think it was, unfortunately, and it was frustrating to watch. I think that would be the first thing I would say watching this game. I'm like, damn, dude, like, there's no, like, the same people in the Clippers series were last night. Hey, you need to make an adjustment. Well, what is the adjustment exactly? Because if you remember, Rudy was brought in to play small ball, but he's not healthy. So then what do? I would have had Pascal out there a lot more. I would have experimented a little bit. Not taking risk, but just saying, okay, if they're going to go small ball to try to finish this game, Rudy doesn't fit into that, with all due respect. And again, I don't want this to come off as we're just going to sit here and bash Rudy, or this is like a hate on Rudy Gobert conversation, because it's not. But, we all watch the game. We don't decide how the game plays out. We just get to watch it and kind of talk about it. And it was just so crazy to see Russell Westbrook in the near side corner, just like it was against the Clippers with man. And the difference is Rudy was going out there to defend him. And Russ drove the paint, broke the paint, kicks it to LeBron, who kicks it to Reed for a wide open three. And it's just unfortunate that is an opportunity when you're playing against the Jazz. And I don't know what the fix is. My guess is there really isn't a fix right now, just like there wasn't a fix against the Clippers. So, we work really hard on the show to come with a fresh conversation, or like a fresh angle, or a fresh take, but seemingly that's getting more and more difficult as the games play out, because they're just going the same way.
Yeah.
Again, you yourself took a lot of heat both on Twitter and in the comments on YouTube when you said the other day something to the effect of, the Lakers are going to be a tough matchup for the Jazz, that the Lakers are going to be a team that's not going to be some cakewalk for the Jazz. And you see that play out last night. And so if I'm the Jazz, I got to take a real hard look at
hiring me to be the general manager?
Yes, number one. But then number two, like, holy cow, what is our answer for small ball? Because, like, and I'm not trying to criticize Quinn. This is a coaching staff-wide problem. We've got to have an answer for small ball. What do? Who's coming in when we take Rudy Gobert out? Because I'm telling you right now, Eric Pascal is not sliced bread. He's not some great NBA player. But damn if he's not a dog, right? Damn if he won't make LeBron's life really difficult, if he won't, be physical with these guys, if he won't give you more options defensively. I mean, think about it. Even if he could just slow down Russ, right? Even if he could just make it difficult for Russ to break the paint, maybe the LeBron pass doesn't happen. The pass from Russ to LeBron, which then would have prevented the Reeves pass, right, for the knockdown three. And there was obviously many plays like this. But my point here is that when we talk about this, we're way past, well, Rudy can't defend on the perimeter. No big in this league.
Past that.
No big in this league can defend on the perimeter. When you're 7, whatever Rudy is, that lanky, and you're going against a Russell Westbrook type player.
It's the LeBron matchup late in the game, right? This is what should trouble you. LeBron and Rudy Gobert are matched up one-on-one on the perimeter after another awful switch.
Mm-hmm.
And you have LeBron standing there clearly wanting to shoot a three, and Rudy's going to let him shoot that three. And doesn't make much of an effort to block it. Doesn't make much of an effort to close forcefully. And LeBron nails that three. It's the play where Russell Westbrook drives into the paint, hands off to LeBron, and then screens Rudy down, and LeBron dunks it. It's the play where Rudy is kind of standing in the middle of the paint watching, and really Don collapses into the paint on a drive and kick to Austin Reeves, who hits a wide open three to essentially seal the game.
Is this the dagger?
The effort is what's lacking.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So what does that mean? And I think what that means to me is, one, I do think Quinn Snyder is partially to blame for this, because I think he's largely lost the room.
Yeah.
The voice has gone dull now. Quinn Snyder's been here too long, and philosophically, I don't believe that Rudy Gobert buys into what they're doing. Right? You can switch out Rudy Gobert, but that's not easily done with his contract, right? So you need somebody that can get Rudy in the right headspace to make better decisions.
Right.
Rudy Gobert can't give up a dunk and then turn around and point at Royce O'Neal when Royce O'Neal was not at fault.
Yeah, and I think the whole team needs to be in a better headspace defensively. I mean, you have, you've got Rudy that's kind of at the center of it, but then you've got other small instances where, your perimeter defense just isn't all that good. And it hasn't been good, but I think, the point about Quinn is well taken, because I think when your head coach loses the room, you start to see that kind of play out on the floor, and there's more chaos defensively, and there's less effort, and you're seeing these small kind of little signs of hey, maybe this is starting. It just kind of says to me, okay, you're seeing less effort. You know that the Gobert contract, love or hate the guy, the Gobert contract is preventing you from really making other deals. And you know that you're not winning a championship this year. You'll get to the playoffs, obviously, but nobody believes this team is gonna go to the finals this year. It's just not where they're at. And so,
but why is Royce O'Neal still playing heavy minutes?
Because I don't know who would you replace Royce with? And this has been a conversation all season.
I would play Trent Forrest more. I would play. Give me Nickeil Alexander-Walker more.
Yeah.
Me something. We know what Royce is. The turnovers, the biggest problem is you're down 99-96.
Mm-hmm.
Royce has not one but 2 opportunities to try and shoot a three and doesn't shoot it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm yelling at the screen. The ball. He's in the corner. Austin flies at him. Okay, good play. Ball fake, step side, let it fly. No. What's he do? Ball fake, step aside, no look pass, pick off, foul, game's over.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't even shoot. I want a guy to shoot and miss. Because, by the way, it's the NBA. A guy like Royce O'Neal, who this year has made a hell of a lot more threes than anybody thought he was capable of, please shoot the ball. But he won't do that. Royce O'Neal cannot play starters minutes on this team.
And then after the game, say you should have taken that shot.
Yeah, and say, and the worst thing, the thing that drives me crazy is, oh, my bad. Well, how many times is it going to be okay to say, oh, my bad? We know it's your bad.
Fix it.
Do something about it, right? And this is where I point at all the haters who say Donovan's selfish. Donovan, he's the problem. Where was Rudy Gobert offensively last night? And why did Rudy Gobert not have a place in that game?
Mm-hmm.
Because what were the Lakers doing? This is what we talked about yesterday. Running up and down the floor. The Lakers' key to success is playing fast basketball.
Yes.
When AD goes out, you're feeling like, all right, Jazz are going to be in cruise control. No problem. The Lakers didn't go into, we're going to lose mode. They went into, well, let's play faster. How many times did Russell Westbrook run by Bojan Bogdanovic? How many times? 3 different times Royce O'Neal just allowed Russell Westbrook to go right by him. Allowed, couldn't do anything about it.
Down the baseline, too, which was
well, the
amazing
one
to me.
was down the baseline, and Rudy's not blocking that shot. Once Russ is under the basket on the baseline, Rudy's useless.
Yeah.
Because the rim is going to help Rudy Gobert. So that's not Rudy. That's Royce O'Neal's fault.
It's bad decision making on many
Yeah.
guys' part. And whether we're talking defense or offense or what to do, this team is just not connected right now.
And I think the thing that you quickly become to realize is, hey, we won 5 straight at home. Hey, this is great. We're back. Rudy's back. And then you get into the first real, true small ball situation with real athletes who can beat you at any moment in the NBA, which the Lakers have. You completely melt down on switches. Like,
yeah,
it's the Clipper game all over again. I could go on and on. There's just no point to it. Let's get some of your comments because I want to get to power rankings today. I know we were supposed to get them on Tuesday. We didn't. Funky Orion, good morning, too. He says, Jazz has no answer for LeBron crashing through the basket, and that's less AD. That's true. Absolutely true. Edgar Garcia says, morning, players. What's up, Edgar? Good to see you. Mr. E says, how many times we put the Jazz in collapse in the same sentence the last 2? Well, certainly in the playoffs we did. We talked a lot about that because I think we saw that happen a lot. And the frustrating part, I think, for a lot of Jazz fans, and frankly, my biggest frustration with the Jazz is they've never adjusted. They've never adjusted in there. But, I mean, Eric Paschall and Rudy Gay really haven't made a difference this year.
Yeah.
You know, they really haven't come in and impacted. I mean, you're playing with the same 7 guys.
The Paschall thing bothers me because I'm not saying that Paschall should be playing 30 minutes a night. I'm not. But I am saying that when Rudy's on the bench, Paschall should be in the game. And that's just simply because he brings toughness. He's willing to rebound. He's willing to back guys. He's willing to play great defense. Like, you need that energy on the floor when your rim protector is not there. And that, to me, is Paschall's highest and best use. And, yeah, by the way, he can stand in the corner and make some threes every once in a while. So it's not like he's a liability offensively.
The thing that is amazing to me, is truly remarkable to me, is that you have a guy that, in my opinion, just is not. You're not capable. You're just not capable of. How are you minus 25 or whatever it was with Rudy Gobert?
Yeah.
Like, how is that possible?
How does that happen?
I don't know. I have no idea how you're that minus.
And I think, the conversation around, like, while we're sitting here talking about it, I'm kind of starting to think about it. And, the conversation around Quinn, I do think is kind of front and center right now. I think if you're Quinn Snyder and you're looking at this game tape, are you not saying to yourself, we need to make an adjustment? We need to, like, yes, Rudy needs to continue to play his normal load of minutes, but we got to get together on defense here. We have, like, because that's the thing. I mean, you have to understand, like, when there's chaos happening, like, there should be a general rule of thumb on this team that if you're a Royce O'Neal, a Don, a Mike, like, if you're a perimeter player, you're not going to just collapse all the way into the paint. Will you be in that area looking for a board?
Yeah.
In that area between the three-point line and the paint? Yeah, sure, you can be in that little area. But you have to be able to get back to your guy before the Lakers can rebound it and kick it back. That has to happen. And that's what I think. I saw a lot of that last night where it's like everybody came down into the paint. Like, again, on the Reeves 3 at the end of the game, there's a perfect example. All the Jazz are in the paint. And you got guys just standing around waiting to shoot the ball.
Yeah. I think what you have to do here is get to the break and make the adjustments you can make. I mean, again, you can't have Rudy Gobert be a minus 27, Mike Conley a minus 25. Donovan Mitchell is the only guy really in the starters that was plus, and he was even. He was 0 in plus minus. He was 0.
Yeah.
And I think, the one of the more frustrating parts of this game, Hassan Whiteside actually played decent minutes last night. But you see nothing out of Butler. You see nothing out of Alexander Walker. You see 12 minutes out of Trent Forrest. Like, that to me is where the adjustment's going to come from, because I think we're learning very quickly that Mike Conley's not an NBA 35-minute-a-night guy anymore. No. Mike Conley is a 25 to 30-minute guy.
Was he ever a 35-minute-a-night guy coming into the season? I mean, was that a fair expectation?
I mean, I don't think so, but when you pay a guy on that level, don't you have to get that kind of minutes out of him?
Not for this team.
I think you
right?
do.
Like, I think there's some questions around, hey, we're overpaying guys, Like, there's a couple of examples of that, I think. But, yeah.
Frank Cage says the Jazz have not won a game in L.A. against the Lakers in like 15 years. Also, 4 years ago, we lost to the Lakers team led by Jamario Jones, and every game in the last 10 years or so at L.A. has been really close. I mean, it's the Lakers. There's no love lost between the Lakers and the Jazz. There's not.
No
I
doubt.
mean, and I don't think that there ever will be, just because I think it's the Lakers, man. And the little brother complex with the Utah Jazz is strong. It's really strong.
Yeah.
So,
Excuse
me. Av Lee says Gobert needs to be shipped out and get some long athletic wing players. Then we can compete. I agree with that. He also says Don is too short and Royce is pass first, then maybe shoot. Just a ridiculous end of game. Yeah, totally. I have zero problem with Donovan Mitchell. The size thing is a problem for some. It's not a problem for me.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with him. I think Donovan Mitchell is a stud. I think he's a superstar. I think he's the guy you build around.
I think in the history of the NBA, there have been plenty of guys. I mean, Steve Nash is one of the best point guards of all time.
Yes.
And he was undersized. And I think that Donovan's game, the thing with Donovan's game is it just needs to continue to mature. He just has to find what works for him to get to the mid-range. And we've seen him get to the elbow and knock that shot down reliably, consistently. So,
well, and Jeremy Bolton makes a great point. He says, I can understand Rudy's frustration. All night he had someone 3 feet shorter guarding him, and no one was giving him the ball in the paint.
Well, this is a conversation.
How many times are we going to have this conversation?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm being serious. How many times are we going to say that Rudy's teammates won't give him the ball? And it's because he doesn't. What is the end goal of giving him the ball? It's very difficult, especially when he's guarding a shorter guy. And the issue is that Rudy has a terrible habit of when he catches the ball here, the ball comes down to go back up. It is, trust me, as somebody that's played the 4 and the 5 in my basketball life, I cannot tell you how many times coaches have you just turn the ball over. When you catch that ball and you bring it down to go back up, it's a turnover.
You're just gift wrapping it to the defender.
Every single time it's a turnover.
And I think the thing with the Rudy situation last night is there's two different looks in two different situations when it comes to whether they should give the ball to Rudy. So last night, repeatedly, I'm talking 10, 15 times last night at least, you have Rudy switched on to the smaller guy. Sometimes it was THT, sometimes it was Reeves. Several times LeBron was on him. Not that, you like that matchup, but when you have a younger guy, a Reeves, a THT type matchup, Rudy was getting position. And I'm not a Rudy guy, as you all know. But last night, I was like, dude, why are they not just giving it to him and him just going straight up to dunk this?
Yeah, we were both yelling at the screen last night. Give it to him.
It's such a high percentage look. Like, he's wide open, one-on-one, in the restricted area, and you're not giving him the ball.
Against LeBron, it's tough to feed the post because he is strong. But against Russ, when you had Austin Reeves on Rudy Gobert, how you're not just lobbing that over the top and forcing backside help, I have no idea.
Get the Lakers in foul trouble.
No idea.
Why wouldn't you try to? As the commenter said just a few minutes ago, that you typically lose when you go to, the Staples Center, as I'm always going to call it. You know that.
Yeah.
Right? Why would you not try to get the Lakers into the bonus? Get to the free throw line.
Absolutely.
Get some free points.
Brylark says, bro, Chris Paul is literally 6 foot and still dicing up the league. Skills always trump height.
Yeah.
Totally
Chris
agree
Paul's
with that.
a great example,
and
man.
I think Donovan has the skills that you need. I mean, Look at him in the first half last night. I
Yeah.
mean, the guy was
Lighten it up.
everything you want. I mean, if you look at his numbers,
I want to say at 26 at the half. I could be wrong. What did he have?
sure, I don't recall. 5 of 11 from 3, 6 of 7 from the free throw line, 13 of 24, 37 points, 3 rebounds, 5 dimes, 4 steals.
Wait, I thought you said he had 37 points against the Lakers.
37 points. I mean, Donovan Mitchell
He's not the problem.
is far from your issue.
Yeah.
James Knight says, I see you guys are only reading comments that you agree with. What are you talking about? I try to read every comment.
We go down the ledger, dude.
The problem is there's a lot of comments that come in, so I miss some. So if I missed your comment, James, I'm sorry. Eric C. says, morning, guys. Can we get an Austin Reeves type coming off the bench? Well, you had Grayson Allen. You know,
Shipped him out.
You shipped him.
By the way, Grayson Allen has a ring now. I don't know if anybody cares about that or not, but just saying.
Yeah, and not that I'm a Grayson Allen fan because I can't stand him, but this team could use him. Jeremy Bolton says, that's the mo, though. Reeves won't have another game like that until they play the Jazz again. No, that's not true. Austin Reeves has been a revelation for the Lakers this year.
Yeah, you need to go and do your homework.
Yeah, I mean, Austin Reeves has been very, very good for them.
Yeah.
Westbrook was running into the paint all night. Why can't we have someone to knock him on his ass a few times and make him think twice about doing it?
Who should that be?
Well, that's a Rudy Gobert question
for you. That is
Rudy
Gobert not being an intimidator.
Yeah.
I mean, that's who he should be. That's what a big does. I mean, again, look no further. And I know it was a cheap shot, and I know it was dirty, but the Jokic play on Morris earlier this season, bro, Morris has been out for months, dude. And I'm not advocating for Rudy to do that, but my point is that toughness and that mental space that a big needs to be in, that's not where Rudy operates. And that's another area. Again, that's why I'm a Pascal advocate, because he brings the toughness. He's willing to body guys. He's willing to commit the hard foul to send a message. And again, I'm not saying to play the guy 30 minutes, but he definitely has some benefits that this team needs on a 15, 20-minute a night tops basis. There's some benefit there.
Yeah, you know. Brylark says, yeah, we should have shipped Exum instead of Allen. Don't get me started on Dante. Brylark, why would you say that to me? You and I are really close friends. You're one of my best friends in the world. You know,
I want you to listen to me.
You know how deeply Dante Exum affects my soul.
Too fucking bad, man.
Exactly. You're not wrong, Brylark. You're absolutely not wrong. Raphael Ray says, good morning, happy Friday Eve. Seriously, man, the alarm went off this morning. And I was like, hell no.
Dude.
Last night was one of those nights where it was really cold here in Huntington. And I slept in the cold wind. I had the fan on.
Cocooned in the blanket.
It was awesome.
Yes.
Joris Tuiza says, will the Jazz win the championship this season? Bob Scott says, Jazz don't win close games. They don't. Hell no, Jory's not with this team, Eric C. says. I think this summer is critical. You've got to just do everything you can do this year to win now, and then you got to get to the summer and you got to tear this thing down.
Facts.
I mean, that's what you're hoping for.
It's just time.
You know, like that's what you're hoping for. Spida Cheetah says Gobert didn't play too well, but him playing small ball when he's not 100% doesn't help. Well,
please.
The injury thing, I mean, if he's out there, he's healthy.
Yeah, I can't. And I'm not trying to be mean to you, bro, but I can't get down with, well, he's not 100%. Well, he's out there. He's out there. And he even said, by the way, I actually do think he's 100% because earlier this week, I don't remember what day in practice it was, but he said that he had been more explosive than he thought he would be, that he felt great, that the return from injury had gone really well for him. So I'm not going to sit here and you know, say that he didn't play well because of injury. Moving around wasn't his issue last night. It was decision making.
Well, and I think what he said the other night after the game was so critical. I had no pain. I had no hesitation.
Yeah.
I never thought about my calf. To me, that says he's healthy.
He's good to go.
Listen, I understand what you're saying, but I just I don't think you can do that. I think if Rudy's out there and he's not coughing all over the place like I am right now, if Rudy's out there, you got to think he's healthy.
Yeah.
Because I think the other thing you saw is he stayed out of the lineup for an extended period of time. All right. Well, all of this consternation leads us to power ranking.
Power ranking.
Ranking of power in the NBA. Suck it.
Wow. Okay.
Sorry if you're offended by that.
That felt good. Bob Scott says nobody's 100% at this time of year. Not a good excuse. I agree. Josh Lovren, Rudy is French finesse, and expecting him to play like the 93 NBA post player would never happen.
But okay, so
Rick Mahorn!
But this is a great point. I think this is a great point.
I said Rick Mahorn.
Yeah, and nobody cares about him. He's, that's back.
You're right. Charles Oakley!
Thank you. Yes, thank you. Yeah, look, I'm not saying Rudy's got to be Ben Wallace, right? That's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is that, to your point, he is French and he is soft. The problem is he doesn't have finesse either.
Power rankings.
Power. Okay, let's get to power rankings.
All right, top 10. Here's a question for you. Are the Utah Jazz a top 10 team in the NBA? Just answer that question.
I want to say they are. I want to say they're a fringe top 10 team right now.
Okay, fringe means no, they're not.
Yes. No, I think that they're like 9th or 10th. That would be my opinion.
Okay, here are my power rankings. Number 10, the Denver Nuggets. They beat Phoenix last night. Number 10. Number 9, the Cleveland Cavaliers.
You're a casual.
Thank you. Thank you. Number 8, without James Harden.
Yeah,
Without James Harden, the Philadelphia 76ers. Number 7, this one's tough for me. The Boston Celtics are number 7.
Mm-hmm.
Number 6, the Miami Heat. I think the Miami Heat are starting to play really good basketball. Now, granted, they've had a really easy schedule. Number 5, I think, is the Milwaukee Bucks. Listen, I think the Bucks are that Giannis 50-point performance should terrorize you.
Yeah.
Especially if you're a Chicago Bull, Brooklyn Net, Philly fan. That 50-point performance, because how many of those 50 points came on the J?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them. And the 50th point was probably the most spectacular. Number 4, and this is where it gets dicey. I think it's the Chicago Bulls, with the guy who should be MVP in DeMar DeRozan.
Yeah.
He is so under the radar right now. He was a virtuoso, a Picasso-like statue of a performance. Last night.
Wow.
I don't know. I smoke a lot of crack.
Dude.
Last night,
Bro.
DeMar DeRozan off the chain.
Lidocaine and B12.
Number 3, the Memphis Grizzlies. Good luck. I think the way Ja's playing, I think the way they're shooting the ball, 8-1 in their last 9 games. You're scoring 1.2 points a possession right now. Good luck. Number 2, the Golden State Warriors. Klay Thompson's getting his legs under him. And while they're not probably playing their best basketball, I expect them to come out flying in the post All-Star break.
Mm-hmm.
And then number 1 is the Phoenix Suns.
What's an erection?
My God, Devin Booker last night again.
Dude.
Now, here's the question.
Yeah.
So I put the Jazz in the 11 to 14 area.
Mm-hmm.
Are the Jazz better than? You got to marry one? No, I'm kidding. Are the Jazz better than the Toronto Raptors?
Yes, they're better than
I
the
would think
Raptors.
that they are.
And here's the thing too, just while we have this conversation. Just an NBA.com power rankings. 3 days ago this was published on the 14th.
Mm-hmm.
Has the Jazz at number 11 and the Raptors are 1 spot ahead of them.
I think the Raptors are a better team right now.
Wow.
I think the question is the Raptors and the Dallas Mavericks, and I think it's incredibly close between those 3 teams. And I think that I would probably go 12, I would go the Mavericks. But the way that Luka Doncic is playing, the guy is unconscious.
Yeah.
96 points in 2 games. What do you even say to that?
But as a team, they're just, yeah.
They lack as a
Yeah,
team.
as a team.
Number 12, I would probably go the Utah Jazz. And then number 11, I would go the Toronto Raptors.
Yeah, I think the Jazz are top 10 for me. I would have them in the 10 spot. I would have the Raptors in the 11 spot and the Mavericks in the 12 spot. I just think that the difference is for me with the Jazz, with all the shortcomings we talk about, I do feel like with good coaching and leadership, this team could go much further and play much better basketball than they are playing. But the problem is when you have a lack of athleticism and some interesting roster construction, you have to play together. It can't be a traditional 2 guys and everybody else or whatever. Like the 5 guys on the floor have to work together to compensate for those shortcomings.
If teams play at their best, okay, if teams play at their best, are the Utah Jazz as good as the Milwaukee Bucks?
No.
How big is the gap?
It's big.
I think it's really big.
The Bucks are an NBA Finals team right now. Giannis has gotten better. They have gotten better as a team, and the Jazz have gone the other way. So I think I would, if they played a 7-game series, I'd take the Bucks in 5.
The only thing that worries me is Dante DiVincenzo is a really good defender, and they traded him away.
Yeah.
I mean, they needed a big, and obviously with Lopez out with this back surgery, but Serge Ibaka.
Oh, Serge Ibaka.
Serge Ibaka is not that guy anymore. So that's the one thing that worries me a little bit. But when I look at the impact that Giannis has, and I look at his ability to bring up a guy like a Pat Connaughton, that's what makes them so lethal. And I also think that they still have that toughness with Bobby Portis, who doesn't mind putting an elbow in your throat.
No, he doesn't.
And Bobby Portis has that ability to hit that big, either mid-range or 3-point J.
I'll drop that mother.
Another Chris Brickley guy, by the way.
Yep.
Everybody who rips me yesterday, another guy was like, talking about me filleting Chris Brickley. Well, you know what? Maybe somebody should fillet Chris Brickley because all of his guys are dominating.
Hey, look here, man.
And I look at Bobby Portis. He is that guy that has the ability to shoot the mid-range and shoot the 3, and it just is a dagger when he makes it.
And then he goes to the bench, and you never hear about him.
And right now, today, I think the Jazz are probably better than Philadelphia. But with James Harden,
pre-James Harden, I think in a 7-game series without James Harden, that's a 7-gamer. Like that's a very even, comes right down to it series. With James Harden,
yes,
I have some concerns, admittedly, because if James Harden finds a way to get back to who he was as a Rocket, but he's in the Eastern Conference, there's some damage there. There is some destruction.
But what was the game before the Jazz game last night? When we were sitting around eating an Ike's sandwich.
God damn, that was good too. Bro,
Ike's
the 100 pence
sandwiches.
from Ike's is...
Anyway, we were sitting around eating Ike's sandwiches for dinner last night, watching the Brooklyn Nets. And I'm telling you, Patty Mills can still stroke it, and he can shoot the 3.
Yesterday, before the show, I know,
said he can still stroke it.
You said he can stroke it.
And
you said he can stroke it and stuff.
Nothing? Anyway, Patty Mills can still shoot it. Seth Curry hit a wing 3 that was an absolute dagger in that comeback. And I never thought you would hear these words come out of my mouth. Andre Drummond had a huge impact on that game. And without K. Dizzle, that would be Kevin Durant, the Slim Reaper.
Right.
And without, Mr. Vaccination asshole.
Dude.
What? Kyrie Irving.
Mr. fucking vaccination genius scientific expert, you fucking asshole.
He's got 8 games left this year. Right now, today, Kyrie Irving can play 8 more games.
Good.
Those guys did not play last night, and Seth Curry and Patty Mills absolutely shot them back in that game.
Seth Curry is the guy that puts you over the top in terms of winning a championship.
And I'm telling you right now, and call me crazy.
Yeah.
That's a dangerous team. Now I'm not. They were playing the Knicks at the Garden, so I get there was a little more heat. But when Seth Curry shoots 6 of 9 from 3 and gives you 20 points, and Cam Thomas gives you 21 points as a rookie.
If you don't know who Cam Thomas is,
Dude.
I highly encourage you to take a look. Just go on YouTube, and just like with anybody else, Austin Reeves, you might want to check him out.
Cam Thomas is a rookie that's averaging 10 points and 3 boards.
Now, that doesn't sound like a lot, right?
But
10
as a
points, 3
role
boards,
player,
that's a lot.
playing 30 minutes right now to go 9 of 21
I thought you just said role player and playing 30 minutes a night. This
on
guy is
the
more
Brooklyn Nets.
Yeah, this guy's he's making an impact. There's no other way to say it. And this is what I say again, to bring this back home a little bit to the Jazz, look around the league. And this is something that needs to be addressed this summer. You know, not if, but when they make all these changes in the organization. This organization in the Utah Jazz has got to become an organization that develops talent.
Yes.
Because it does not. And I'm
Yes.
looking around the league, and everybody goes to the Warriors as the team that develops everybody. But I'm looking at Austin Reeves. I'm looking at Cam Thomas. I'm looking at Evan Mobley. I'm looking at Darius Garland. I'm looking at Tyrese Halliburton. These are all guys who have come into the league as young players, as rookies through the draft, developed, and now are contributing at a really high level. And you can see the arc. And that's why I'm saying Donovan Mitchell, even though he does lack some size, has tremendous upside. And there is still plenty left in that tank.
But Spida Cheetah makes a really interesting point.
Yeah.
Really interesting point. Once again, Donovan Mitchell's highlight end in the third quarter. Who would have guessed? First half merchant at it again. This is why Booker is ahead of him. Devin Booker up in this piece.
Ooh.
Okay.
Sorry if you're offended by that.
Dude.
I don't know Spida Cheetah if you realize I'm a huge
Buddy
Devin Booker
went
fan.
in
So
on Spida.
you know, I'm all about that.
Do we agree with that?
I don't agree with that. I think Donovan Mitchell.
Just the Donovan Mitchell part, because I do agree Book is ahead of him.
Book is ahead of Donovan, no doubt. I think that Donovan Mitchell is not getting. The weird thing is, this team rarely plays together. Again, I will just ask the same question I usually ask when they suck out loud, which is, I thought there was a dress code in the NBA. Now, I could be wrong about the dress code in the NBA, but I swear I saw Bojan Bogdanovic show up with a mask and a gun last night and rob the Jazz of a paycheck because he plays 33 minutes and he only gives you 15 points and he's 3 of 8 from 3. Like I'm not saying he didn't contribute, but he didn't contribute at all. Like, I mean, Bojan Bogdanovic has to give you more.
Come on, man.
Who's the running mate for Don right now?
There isn't one. It doesn't exist.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
it's not Mike Conley. It's not, Royce O'Neal. It's not Bojan Bogdanovic, right? It's not Rudy Gobert.
And Jordan Clarkson was back to being garbage last night.
It's not frickin' Jordan Clarkson.
Anyway, my point is, I don't think the highlights end in the third quarter is necessarily a fair referendum against Don. My point is, I just don't think Don has much help. I think you look at your boy KD last year in the playoffs, toe on the line between them and the finals.
Man, that was such a clutch shot too.
But who else was helping him in that moment? Nobody.
Yeah.
And Donovan Mitchell
is not 6'10".
And he's also continuing to pass. I think we also saw that last night.
Got to find the middle. So
anyway, so that's my question.
Yeah.
Where are you on the Boston Celtics? I think the Jazz are better than the Celtics.
Dude, the Celtics are who they've always been. They're a good team that has a lot of hype around them, but until Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown show me they can get over the hump and get to, again, I believe, didn't they get to the Eastern Conference Finals against LeBron like 3-4 years ago when he was still a Cav and lost that series? But they need to get over the hump and kind of establish themselves as a serious NBA Finals contender coming out of the East.
I think getting Derek White out of San Antonio and Daniel Tice back in
it helps
in the Rock. I think that's
but
he's
they're
great.
Not, they're not better than Brooklyn and Philly.
No, I would agree with that. Where are you at on the Cleveland Cavaliers? I mean, Karis LeVert was a nice pickup.
Yeah.
I mean, do you realize how tight the East is?
Oh yeah, it's 8 teams separated by 3 games, I think.
It is.
I want to say it's something like that.
It is, of course, the greatness, the unparalleled dominance of DeMar DeRozan.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a fucking unit.
Has raised the Chicago Bulls into the catbird seat of the Eastern Conference of the National Basketball Association. I can't even say that with a straight face.
I really don't care if you think it's sus.
The Miami Heat are a half game out. The Bucks are 2. The Cavs are 2.5. Philly's 3. Boston's 4.5 in the 6th spot. Toronto is 5. 6.5 Brooklyn. 9 Charlotte, who's absolutely collapsed. And Atlanta's 9.5. That is tighter than a witch's tit. And I know about witch's tits.
I'm for real.
And my point is the East is crazy.
Yeah.
And you cannot lose back-to-back games in the East and expect to not lose a spot.
Yep.
Because you have 4 teams in the Cavs, Bucks, Heat, and Bulls that are all playing well.
Yep.
And remember that this is, Glassman Zach LaVine is out.
Man.
He's out of the lineup. He's always hurt, it feels like.
Yeah.
They're largely playing, without Lonzo Ball.
Mm-hmm.
I think, by the way, did anybody notice the fight that Sacramento put up last night? I mean, Sabonis has 22.
He's a hell of a player, bro.
De'Aaron had 33.
Yeah, and De'Aaron also lost his shorts playing against DeMar, though.
But by the way, everybody was like, oh, the Jazz got to get Harrison Barnes. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
He got torched by DeMar DeRozan.
Yeah.
He scored 17. I mean, that's it. That team's going to win some games they shouldn't win. But D-Row put up 38, broke an NBA record because, that's what we do.
I'm Shiva, the god of death.
I had nothing to do with that, just so you know. But, like Vucevic puts up 21 last night, but Sacramento's not a big team.
Yeah, I love watching the Bulls play.
Kobe White put up 31.
Kobe.
I mean, did you see Io DeSumo, the Rook, putting up 12? Like, if Alex Caruso and Jeremy Bolton were hanging out in a bar, would Jeremy Bolton say 2 words to Alex Caruso except for, hey, will you autograph my headband?
Okay, fuck you. How's that?
Tell Jimmer we said hello. Anyway,
Yeah.
the point is,
All right. Okay.
Jeremy, I love you.
Good conversations.
All right. We're 45 minutes into this show.
AD broke himself doing some ballerina shit. What the
John, that's correct. He said fucker doing a 360 rebound and landed on goal. But did you guys see the Anthony Davis ankle?
Hey, excuse me.
Anthony Street Clothes Davis.
Get his damn name right.
My bad. I didn't mean to disrespect you.
Damn.
Okay, we got to talk about Charles Barkley in a minute. But Anthony Davis's ankle.
Anthony Street Clothes Davis.
Yeah, we'll see you later, bud.
I didn't need to see that on replay. Like, by the way, did you watch ESPN or did you watch the Jazz broadcast last night?
ESPN.
ESPN. That Anthony Davis injury, John, you're exactly right. Jazz should trade Gobert for Bol. Stop. Nah, the Bulls are top because of Alex Caruso. Thank you.
Headband.
Jeremy Bolton says that is very true. Caruso riding the bench is the best thing that happened to the Chicago Bulls.
Facts.
For real, Jeremy, Eric says. Wang's 2002 Ponks. Wait, we're going to talk about the metaverse. You should probably chill with that name.
Yeah.
Says, what the hell? You're talking about development? Austin Reeves was not developed by the Lakers. He developed by himself, then work on his skills and show up when given the opportunity. Now the coach is trusting him. Well,
Whatever, dude. Whatever you want to say. The fact is guys who wear Jazz uniforms don't develop, and guys who wear Warrior, Laker, freaking Trailblazer uniforms develop. Anybody see what Anthony Simmons is doing in Portland? Yeah, he's developing.
My God.
So
seriously.
Whatever you want to say, whether the kid's doing it in his backyard or at the Lakers practice facility, he's developing.
Jeremy Bolton said, the only thing I'd say to Alex Caruso would be, what did the 5 fingers say to your face? Kapow! Jeremy, do you lift? Anyway. Eric C. says, wow, the audio works after a Jazz loss. Coincidence?
You're casual.
Y'all are the best, dude. Y'all are the best, bro.
Eric and Raleigh says, John Cena will respond with, you can't see me.
Okay, the truth behind the audio thing the last couple of days has been that the router was too far away.
Yeah, we left the router back in Salt Lake, and so the signal was a little weak.
It was just a little weak. So now the router is sitting off camera 2 feet from me.
Excuse me, it's the spaceship.
Yeah, so BTS, the router's right here.
Yeah, but BTS?
That's behind the scenes.
Oh,
that's cool, kids.
Hey, man, BTS,
We're on to Cincinnati.
Yeah, on to the next thing. Let's go.
Utah needs two-way shooting guard. This would be true. Charles Barkley says he is going to retire soon. Will you be happy about that, or do you like Charles Barkley?
I don't really care. I think Charles Barkley is a nice addition to that show, but I think that show is Shaq and Kenny, and that's
Ernie?
the show. Ernie, yeah, sure. But I think the show is it's the best show. It's the best basketball show around. Like, let's be honest about it. It is the best basketball show around. But I think that Charles, he's the hot take guy on the show, which I appreciate. Every show needs that. That's why I do that. You know what I mean? That's the deal. But I think that Charles,
Here's the deal.
Here's the deal. Yes, it's Charles Barkley. He contributes, but am I pissed that he's retiring or not doing TV anymore? No,
Dude,
I'm not.
That show is very good. And I think that show I think that show, like at the All-Star draft, that's the essence of that show.
Here's the deal. I'm the best there is.
Laughing, joking, having Kevin Durant not draft James
That
Harden.
was so funny.
Right, but that's what that show is. Like, you
Yes.
have all the biggest names in the NBA.
I'm dying over here.
You okay?
I was cold.
We have all the biggest names in the NBA on that show. Everybody watches it. Like, it's an iconic show.
Yeah, dude. I mean, this drop
Shout to Mo Bamba.
Yeah, is on that
is
show.
on that show.
And my point is, Charles Barkley has been that show for a lot of years. I think Shaq's been a great addition to it. I don't know who you put in there. If he truly walks away, he says
Somebody.
he doesn't want to die on TV.
Probably D-Wade. D-Wade might do it.
I don't know, man. It won't be the same
casual.
without
You're-
Chuck and Shaq. Can't take the piss out of each other.
Bro, the
Truth.
the You're Casual drop came from that show.
You're casual.
Like, that's Christian Wood saying you're a casual to Shaq.
To Shaq. Jake's hot takes are usually spot on, Eric C. says.
They're definitely real.
Yeah.
Is it just me or O'Neal's play well whenever the Jazz collapse? Gobert scores big when the Jazz lose. Bogey plays passive and the Jazz lose. Dom plays hero ball and the Jazz lose. Well, I just think the Jazz always lose. I mean, it ain't you and stuff.
All right.
Shut up.
All right. We got to move on. Let's go.
All right, yeah, it is. We are a mirror. We are a mirror. Are you ready? Let me
Dude,
rub those
I am-
traps, you
Don't
stud.
hurt your hand. I'm
You
ripped,
got
you know?
stud.
I'm rock solid over here, you know?
Okay, now get ready because the throwdown in the showdown in the lowdown hound is coming. Because we're going to talk about the metaverse here in a minute. After you give us a thumbs up, please, if you're watching the
Yeah.
show.
Can we talk about shirts
Will
real
you
quick?
hit the like button, please, right now on YouTube? If you're listening on the audio podcast, God bless you. Get to the MontyShow.com, MONTY, themontyshow.com. Give us a thumbs up. Eric, don't ask me about buying real estate. I will break something.
Wait, did you mean in the metaverse or in the real verse?
Shut up. Why? Why?
Yes.
You're a
Buy
casual.
a damn shirt.
There's a You're a
okay?
Casual shirt. $25. All you have to do is DM us. It helps support the show. If you want a Monty Show shirt that says You're a Casual, hop on it.
By the way, the PS5 hasn't been given away yet. Buy
No,
a
it
shirt.
hasn't.
Improves your chances.
Yeah, everybody who buys a shirt, you get 5 chances to
5
win the
times
Xbox.
entries.
5 to 1. Everybody else who doesn't buy a shirt gets 1 chance. You get 5.
How do you think
To their
Tanner
one.
Plummer won the Xbox?
He did win the Xbox. True.
He bought a shirt.